Our language is changing, and it's losing the power of the word, the meaning of the word, even the ceremonial settings in that. Our people, the Diné, have been given many different names, but we always refer to ourselves as Diné. And it is that the names that are given to us by other people, the ones that most people are familiar with, of course, is the one that's called Navajo. But the origin of the word Navajo, a lot of people don't understand that it has a history, a very important history. The traditional teaching of our people as to the explanation of where the name came from is very important to understand. It's important to understand that we give correct information to our younger generation and to our people. And so there are all kinds of stories about the origin of the name Navajo, and the correct teaching is very necessary. And so it is that we're going to provide the information about the name Navajo. The teaching of our people concerning the name is that it was given to us by the people that we call Anasazi, or the Anasazi people. These people lived among the Diné for several hundred years. And in that time period, we existed and lived in the same area with the Anasazi. And they referred to our people as Anabeho. That's very important, Anabeho. The last part of the word, ho, is very important. It is that they refer to us as, in their language, field people. Dak Diné is what they would be referring to us as, Dak Diné. They called us Dak Diné because when our children reached a certain age and they were being instructed, we would draw for them a traditional field. The traditional field of our people was the clockwise spiral, and it is very important. This is called Kilgek, and that was the name of the way that the fields were constructed. And so even that word, Kilgek, when they were constructing a new field, the clockwise spiral, that the name today seems to be understood as to mean planting seeds. But that's not correct. When you plant a seed, you have two seasons. You have the season of Yaishja, which is the two planting seasons. And so the word Kilgek means the field. So when our children were being instructed, they were told, you are a field, and from you comes generation of Diné. Dak is the way they would say it. And so when the Anasazi heard the word Dak, which is that you are a field, that's what they called our people. They called them field people. In their language, they would say it, Anabeho. And so that's how the name came about, as to be called Nabeho. And when the Spaniards arrived, sometimes after 1520, and they came up into this part of the continent, the ones that raided their settlements were the Diné, because they wanted to discourage them and make them move away and go back to where they came from. And after several years, the Spaniards, they asked other tribes and that, who are these people that come and raid our settlements and carry off our property and our women and our children? And they were told, those are Anabeho. And so when they heard the word Anabeho, they gave it the Spanish pronunciation and the Spanish spelling, which would be like it had been for many years. It was spelled Navaho. And sometimes in the 1950s, or maybe even the 1940s, they began to look at the word and to say it does not seem right that it should be spelled with an H-O at the end. And so eventually they changed the spelling to J-O. And so the word took on a Spanish word appearance. But it is not a Spanish word. There is no word in Spanish that says Navajo. Some people have tried to say that it means this or it means that, but in reality it was originally an Anasazi word, and it was pronounced Anabeho. And when the Spaniards heard it, they gave it the Spanish pronunciation and spelling, and today it is pronounced Navajo. In this time period, it is very important to give the correct information. And so it is that outside forces and that, people that have tried to make a study of some of the language and words of our people, have contributed misinformation and disinformation about so much of the things that we need to make and keep correct. And so I would encourage young people, make sure that you understand where the words come from, exactly what it is that they mean. And so there are so many things in the language of our people that they are changing, and they are being used differently. And so it is important to understand the way that our people used to use those words and how they came about. Another name for our Diné, Yutahai, is another word that is used to refer to our people. In our language, we understand it to mean Yutahai is the up people, which means that they came from up where there was no surface before they came down to the surface of Mother Earth. And so it came from Yutahai to Ne. So it is that we are called Diné. And so correct information about the names that we are called by and referred to by is very important. Languages are changing, and so much of the origin of the words in that are being lost. And it's very important for us to know that as the years come and go, our language is changing, and it's losing the power of the word, the meaning of the word, even the ceremonial settings in that. There are words in that when I've gone to ceremonies in recent times, that the words that were supposed to be in the song or in the prayer are not there anymore. And so it is that the loss of the language is occurring, and the power of these words are being lost. And so those are the teachings of our people, and it is the correct teaching of our people. And I encourage our people to provide the correct explanation for the words of the Anasazi, Anabeho, and that is the teachings of our people, and those are what we have been told.